Hello everyone, Benedict here. Just before we begin today's show, we wanted to get in touch with you and let you know that as of Monday the 13th of April, Critfest will be 2 years old. In order to celebrate, we got together and we've recorded a special mini episode in which we discuss our favourite moments of the show so far. So this mini episode will be available right now and we look forward to hearing your thoughts on that. But it's time for the main event.
Warning. The following may contain naughty nimble rights.
Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, fighting off the wights that attacked them in the Abbey's garden, the team has discovered these creatures have the ability to drain their very life forces. Having already been drained himself, Kellen prepares to enact his revenge.
I scream, "Give me back my hit points, you son of a bitch!" I go crazy on him with my blood spear.
Ooh. Okay.
14.
14 will hit.
9.
Okay, 9. Okay, well done. Again, bone shatters, breaks, but not enough to deter your attacker.
21.
21 will also hit.
7.
Okay, 7 damage. It's taken its toll. You can, again, most of the armor is slogging off this thing, but it's still moving forward. It's got one last round of damage dealing left in it.
And last attack, 26.
Okay, maybe it doesn't. Okay, 26 will hit.
And 9.
Would you like to describe this thing's death?
In its final moments, it feels remorse at trying to suck my soul away, and it gives me back those 5 hit points. Trying to steal from me permanently.
It's not a thing that actually happens. So it's yes, Hammer is no more. Kellen, you still got movement left. Now Master Sonna and Irina are just within movement of you over in the potato patch there with the flail wielding one. You've also got off to the north, you've got Esmeralda, and she's a bit further away. She's about 40 feet away to the north where she's fighting the one with the great sword. You can tell that she's getting on pretty well with her great sword.
Who seems to be having the most difficulty?
Well, Bernard's the only one with 2 still on him. Now, he's caused a lot of damage to one of his. Unfortunately, Bernard is about 70 feet away from you at the moment, so he's quite a distance.
I'm doing all right.
and
looking good doing it, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
How about Jean?
Jean is dealing. Jean is about 50 feet away from you because he's over at the other side of the garden. Now
I'm fine.
He's certainly harmed his thing. So.
I will then move toward Irina and Master Sonna.
Okay, so you can actually move on up, so you're right up in combat range of Flail, so that you're sort of standing side by side with them. That's the only one that you could get into melee range with.
Can I stand? Can I move? Position myself behind the thing with the flail?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes no dice rolling difference, but you can do it if it makes you feel better. So. Okay, that's the end of Kellen's turn. Jean, it's your turn. You've got Carrots up in hand-to-hand combat with you now. It's not particularly happy with you. That's why it stole a wee bit of your soul. You get the impression it's slightly unimpressed with what it's just eaten, but it's obviously not unwilling to have another shot.
So we're in hand-to-hand now.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Well, that's... So how far away is my friend? Is she within 15?
So she's about 15 feet away from you now.
15 feet?
Yeah.
Like outside of 15? Like 16 feet or 14 and a half?
I'm sure you could shimmy around and half a foot away from her if you wanted.
Sure. So I think what I'll do is I'll cast Thunder Wave.
Okay. Well, to be honest, you don't even need to worry about her because she is off in the total opposite direction anyway. Okay. So Thunderwave would not even have a possibility of catching her. So
okay. So I'll use Thunderwave at the. Oh, I really want to blow this person up.
No, it's not. Carrot is not in good shape.
Oh, he's not in good shape.
No, not at all. You suckered him with a fireball. Fireballs are tend to be meant for sort of mass wide damage, but this guy just took it in his chest, so you can tell he's not happy.
Oh, all right.
But you know,
right.
You know, level 1 Thunderwave is only.
No, I do level 2.
Okay.
Level 2 Thunderwave,
right.
Which is yes.
So does it need to take a Constitution saving throw? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And now let's see, it manages to get 15.
I have 15.
So it succeeds.
Oh, no!
But you still get to roll.
I have a modifier with mine. I do. A 15 plus. What do you add to it? You got to add something to it, like, intelligence or good looks, something.
You still get to roll. Okay. You still get to roll your 3d8, and I only take half the damage.
Okay. All right, 3d8. Let's see. Where's my 8? Here we go. 5, 3. 8. 16.
16, so half that?
8. Okay.
Okay, so again, now you build up the energy for this thunder wave, and but it must be. It's been a long time since you used this spell, and you're maybe not used to it. So actually, a lot of it sort of gets misdirected into the carrots. So we just have this hail of carrots sort of bombarding the land around you, and only towards the end do you manage to direct the thunder wave, directly into your foe. Now, again, you can see like bones peel off this thing. It drops. It does sort of drop its sword briefly and ducks down to pick it up, but you can see that the carrot is still hanging on somehow.
Okay.
Not a lot of it left.
Right, and I still have like an action, right?
No,
that
was.
I kind of like run away. Can I like duck?
Well, the problem is it's still a melee combat with you, so you could run away. But if you ran away, it would get a reaction. It would get a chance to try to hit you before you.
What if I just soil myself?
Yeah, that's free. You can do that anytime.
Okay, I will warm my pants.
Okay, pants warmed. Well done. Is that the end of your turn?
No, I'll give a bardic inspiration to my friend Irina.
Okay, and again, she's a big grin from her upon receiving it. Okay, so we're on to Bernard. Bernard, you've got 2 on you. You've got this mace wielding one that's eaten part of your soul. You've got daggers, who is just has the back of its head, and that's it. What's your plan?
All right. Well, I kick it off with some flashy sword work, just some high like chops and some low sweeps, and just kind of like the beginnings of like a kata, just kind of trying to impress everybody who might be watching. I wouldn't be surprised if they're busy with their own stuff, but in any case, you never know. And then I just swing my glowing blade right at the one that I hit the first time.
Okay.
So 7 plus 16.
Yep, 16 will hit.
All right, I'm gonna sacrifice a level 1 slot spell. That will give me an extra 1d8, so that's 3d8 bonus to damage. So that's 2d6 plus 2 plus 3d8. Here we go. So that's a 6 and a 1. 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 3d8. 5. 8 is 13, plus 9 is 22, plus 2 is 24 damage.
Would you like to describe its death?
Yes, I cleave it down the center, the light radiating out from within it so that its bones and everything are silhouetted against its own armor. And then I tear the blade free out at the bottom, tripping it up. And while it's flipped up into the horizontal, I bring my blade down one more time, using the flat of the blade to smash it into the turnips and causing bones and armor and turnips and soil to go everywhere.
Excellent. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I turned to the other one. I was like, "Are you sure you want some of this?" I assume he doesn't run away.
No.
And I will use a bonus action to cast Shield of Faith.
Yes.
So a shimmering field appears and surrounds around me, with giving me a +2 bonus to AC.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so and it responds by taking another swing at you with its mace. It doesn't seem to be deterred at all, or possibly it is because it rolls terribly. And it manages to get 8 versus AC, which I assume
That's
does
not
nothing.
good.
But then again, the sort of the sucking void attempts to find purchase on your soul, and I assume it does not because it only gets 9 versus AC. Attack. So okay. Meanwhile, Jean Carrot is out to get you and stabs at you with its blade. It whiffs completely. So it got a critical miss. But again tries to eat your soul, and it totally messes that up as well. It also gets a critical miss. So it's obviously just taking too much the thunder wave. It must be the falling carrots. Just must be distracting it too much, and maybe it operates in some kind of sonar type vision, and there's just too much going on around it to any attack. Esmeralda, the one with its sword, swipes at her, and this time it stabs into her thigh, and again you hear a grunt from her, and she falls to her knee as she takes that wound, and then sort of gets her into prime position for the thing to open its mouth again, and it does indeed tear at her soul, and this time she does shout out in pain as the thing starts to eat her life away. And she doesn't, you can tell this time it is really sore because she doesn't manage to succeed in resisting its influences, because it does manage to permanently do what it did to Kellen, and it's she's not going to get back those hit points anytime soon, so she's not in a good position at the moment. Master Sonna and Irina, you've got the flail on you. Flail is going for you, Master Sonna. It's going to continue attacking you. It gets a critical miss as well. This is my worst. Excuse me, I'm just changing my die as it goes for the eating your soul. So much better. 18, sorry, it's not even 18, it's more than that. 22 versus AC to suck at your soul for 5 necrotic damage. And could you take a constitution saving throw, please?
Yeah, 20.
Yes, you're fine. Okay. And then that's it. Those are the only ones left alive. We've only got 4 left on the table. So we're back to Master Sonna. So Flail has stolen part of your soul, but not permanently. Irina and Kellen are beside you to face this foe. What are you doing?
Try and bring it down.
Okay.
So, with my trusted sun sword.
Mm-hmm. It is loving what's going on, by the way. Or you can tell it is pretty concerned by the attacks on your very inner being, but it's having a good time.
It's only got 13, so I'm guessing that's not going to
it's maybe too distracted by the good times. Because no, that is not successful, unfortunately.
Okay, then try again.
Yep.
On the second swing. So concentrate, sword. Nope, decides to miss.
Okay, do you can you only take your bonus action if you've hit?
I don't know. Can I? Do I know? I know. I think it's just like a.
I think it's just if you.
I think just, I can.
Actually. Yeah.
Probably just like, and then put the sword down, point it to the floor in absolute disgust, and so like just do a roundhouse kick, Chuck Norris style.
Okay.
That's yeah. We're going to do that.
Go for it.
Nope, we're not.
Nope. You're so used to fighting on your own, maybe just having these guys crowding you. They're cramping your style. You just can't get anything done. So Irina is beside you. She's obviously hoping that it's distracted by your attacks and using the bardic inspiration. She's having a go, and she manages to succeed. And she manages to slice at the thing, taking off one of its fingers. She manages to deal it. Oh, more than that, actually. Sorry. 2 of its fingers then. She deals 7 slashing damage to it. That's it. That's the end of Irina's turn. So Esmeralda, she's obviously on her knees at the moment. The thing has her axe embedded in its skull. So she actually grabs up and tries to pull the axe. And as she dislodges it, pieces of skull go flying. And she causes it I'm losing my. Oh yeah, she causes that quite a bit of damage actually. As parts of its fragments of skull go flying, as she pulls that out, and she uses the distraction that it's under to attack at it with her rapier. Yeah, and she manages to hit it for. Yeah, absolutely. So. Basically, pieces of skull go flying as she whips out her axe, and then she takes her rapier and stabs it into the thing's chest, and cuts her blade from within the thing's chest. Cuts her blade, across the entirety of its body, severing its spinal column, and it falls to the ground in two pieces. Twitches for a few seconds, and then is still. She stands. She looks to the south. She looks for Irina first. She sees that Irina is surrounded by friends. So she turns to Jean, and Jean, she sort of wipes her bloody nose and runs up to you, and she stands beside you, and she says, "It looks like you could use a hand."
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Kellen, it's your turn. You are watching Master Sonna embarrass yourself slightly with Irina,
grace and style.
but Irina is obviously starting to impress you as a novice, proving yourself in combat. What are you up to?
I'm still in my rage and bloodthirsty. Even though these things don't seem to have blood, I'm going to go after Mr. Flail.
Okay.
Kill it.
13.
13 will not hit.
I bet 11 doesn't either.
You are correct. That's great. Wow. Yes. Everything's going so well.
17.
17 will hit.
Yay. 10.
Yep. So 10 damage to it. Again, you're chopping up at some of its pieces of armor, but this thing is relatively healthy in comparison with most of the other wights on the board. Is that the end of your turn, Kellen?
That is it.
Okay, so Jean, you've got Esmeralda standing beside you. Carrot is in front of you. Carrot's in really bad shape, if you can remember from last time, but still standing enough to harm you. What are you up to?
So can I use like Eldritch Blast at this range, or does that have to be having?
So I think we had said that if you attack it when you're in close combat, I believe you've got to attack with disadvantage if it's a ranged attack.
Okay.
I could double check that while we're here. It's been a while since we've had to go. Unless anybody knows off the top of their head.
No.
I'll have to cut this. Rats. Ranged in melee, 195. It's been so long since I've done this.
I'm sorry. If he's like really like feeling poorly, I could just slap him.
Wait a second. We're right. If you make a ranged attack with a weapon, spell, or any other means, you have disadvantage on the attack roll. So you could do it, but you have to roll twice and take your worst roll.
Right. But if I do Thunder Wave now, Irina's standing next to me. That would hurt her.
Esmeralda's standing next to you, but you could.
Esmeralda?
You could direct it away from Esmeralda, so you don't need to worry about her.
Okay, yeah, well, then I'll do that. Okay. I'll do a Thunder Wave second level.
Okay, go for it. Well, I've got to take a Constitution save. Okay.
That's right.
It gets 5.
Yes, you're going down. Going down, my friend. So I will roll 2d8 and 6, 10.
Okay, would you like to describe Carrot's demise?
Yes, it is as if I was shaking out a blanket at the beach. The sand flies up into the sun and sort of glitters. That is what he does as a thunder wave rolls through the earth, picks him up by his decrepit joints and just obliterates them into a lovely sort of sunset sparkle.
And Esmeralda raises an eyebrow beside you, and she turns to you and she says, "I will admit I was not expecting something like that from you."
I'm full of surprises.
Do you still have your movement left? Now you've got There's only 2 left on the board. There's Flail. It's 30 feet to the south of you. That's where Master Sonna, Irina, and Kellen are both taking it on. Bernard is on his by himself up the top with the mace wielding one. Actually, the mace wielding one has not yet been harmed.
I will give Bernard some inspiration and run in his direction.
Okay. You could reach out. Are you getting into melee combat with him, or are you standing...
oh God, no! I mean, like with it, like 5 feet. Like
okay.
I don't want to harsh what he's doing. But yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Bernard, you feel this the inspiration from Jean. You hear your friend's footsteps running toward you, or friend maybe, I don't know. Is it too soon to use that term? What's your plan?
Well, the inspiration hits, and I sort of just stop and I say, money can't buy you happiness. Happiness comes from inside you. And I get all pumped up and swing at the other skeleton. 19. So I think I hit.
19 will hit, yes.
Yeah. +8 plus, yeah. All right. So I do 2d6 plus 2, and I'll use another spell slot. I'm running out of spells. Okay, so again, 2d6, so that's 1. 6 plus 5 is 6, plus 2 is 7, plus 2, 9, plus 6, 15, and a 4, 19 damage for the first hit.
Wow, okay, that was significant. You said the first hit, so I get the impression there's more to come.
That's right.
Okay.
I turn to Jean, give him like a thumbs up, and turn back to the skeleton. I hold up my finger as if telling the skeleton to wait a minute, and then I go and attack him while he hesitates. 14 plus all this stuff, I think hits.
Yes.
And 2d6, 5, plus 1, plus 2 is 8. And I use my last spell slot. I'm out of spells. My other 3d8. That's a 6, a 7, that's 13, and a 4, that's 17, plus, what did I say the first time was? Like an 8.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that all adds up to something like a 25.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
17 add 8.
Our listeners will probably.
Yep, 25. So this thing just, in a confusion of your melee prowess and your divine powers and sort of it's almost like everyone on the battlefield takes a breath for a second after the dust settles, and your opponent is still standing there, wavering like a single blade of grass blowing in the breeze, but still standing resolute and as if
he doesn't understand how this all should work. He should have fallen.
As if it's the heaviest thing in the world. It hefts its mace ready for an attack. And in fact, it does so. It tries to bring the thing down straight onto your face. It gets 23 versus AC. So I imagine it makes contact with the side of your face for 6 damage to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to block its mace with my head.
Not his face, God.
And I'm assuming for one last time it opens up its mouth to drain your very essence, and it manages to get 21 versus AC for that as well. So it hits you for 5 necrotic damage. And do you want to take a Constitution saving throw?
So I just add my plus 5. A 20 plus 5, 25.
So you're absolutely fine. In a long-term scale, you're fine, but that was...
I turn back to Jean and give another lap, but there's too much blood and loose teeth for it to be really reassuring.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Flail is it's diverting its attack now to Irina. So it's taking, it's lifting the thorns, but obviously, Master Sonna, it must be standing on part of the flail because it goes to lift it to swipe at Irina and it doesn't manage to get anywhere near her. It was embarrassing. However, it does open its maw and sort of breathes in a good chunk of Irina's life, and you can tell it's affecting her more than has maybe, the rest of you that have had this kind of attack hit you, it was sore, it was painful, it felt like something unnatural was happening to you, but you can tell it's also giving Irina flashbacks to other moments in her life, and she's just sort of petrified there with a look of horror on her face. She also feels any kind of save, and you can tell that this is causing untold damage in the long term. She loses those hit points. So it's not a good round for you guys. Master Sonna, it's your turn. You can see Irina being bested now by her foe. What's your plan?
To attack it.
Wow! My goodness!
Not with the sword, because I'm still a bit peeved. So I will use I have Sunbolt.
Okay.
So it's like I take a deep breath to calm myself.
Let me just check, because you're in melee combat with it at the moment, and it's a ranged attack, so it means you'll be taking it with disadvantage right now if you stay in melee. Unless do you have like a free disengage? I think you might do.
No, I only have a chi point disengage.
Okay.
But I could do that.
Okay. Yes, spend a chi point.
I'll spend the chi point, do the step of the wind to sort of like step outside of the immediate attack range.
Okay, what does that look like to onlookers?
I don't know. I haven't done this before.
My God, she just moved to the side and I didn't even see it happen.
It's incredible. It's just too fast to see with the human eye.
Okay, excellent. And then you sunbolt it?
Yes.
Go for it.
It's 11.
Okay. 11. Did you roll 11, or was that 11 total?
That's 11 total.
No, that does not hit, unfortunately. So it's where's your sun sword at the moment?
At my side.
Okay, yes, it's a bit disgruntled.
Oh.
Okay.
So I'm too far away to use the sun.
So the sunbolt, I can't remember, because it's a ranged attack. You could move in, I think, because you can split your movement. So what you can do is that was one of your attacks to use your sunbolt, but you've got multi-attacks, so you still give your second attack. If you moved in, you could sunsword it with your second attack. But you can't sunbolt it twice.
So I bring up the sun sword in front of my face and have like an earnest moment of contemplation with it.
Sure.
And then launch forth with another thrust.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, sun sword. Okay, that looks good. 24.
Yes, that will hit.
Okay. Finally. So let's see. 8 and 8 plus 5 is 13.
13 damage. Yeah,
yes.
So it's obviously mildly distracted by the sunbolt that sort of flew overhead, so you managed to take off a few ribs. It's still going, however.
But I still have the unarmed extra
go for
attack.
It, yes. What are you doing to it?
I'm going to knee it in the groin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because, who knows if undead...
let's find out.
Feel pain there. Let's find out.
Yeah.
17 plus 6, 23.
23 will hit it. How much damage do you deal?
It's 6 plus... No, that's not 6. It's 4 plus 3 is 7.
Would you like to describe this thing's death?
With a kick in its nuts.
Ow! That's how I died in
Assuming it's male. So it's like Master Sonna brings up her knee between the thing's legs, and it's like, because it's got plate armor, or at least vestiges of plate armor. It's like the metal plate that would otherwise be protecting his family jewels.
Codpiece.
So like just is hit upwards with full force that it just like rams into the chest and it explodes.
Okay. So. Excellent. Well
done. Everybody winces across the battlefield. All the guys like, oh, I know he's the enemy, but easy on.
Yikes.
So Master Sonna, beside you, Irina, for her turn, she she reaches out and she grabs onto you, like got sort of like a belt or a sash at your waist, and she sort of steadies herself, and she looks up, and you can see that the excitement that she had earlier in the combat's gone, and her face is is pale and covered in sweat, and she just looks up and she says, "I'm sorry."
Oh, don't be. You fought excellently, Irina. We're so proud of you.
Okay, and then meanwhile, up north, Esmeralda runs up beside Bernard. You've got Mace sort of staggering there in the breeze, and she just turns to you almost nonchalantly, and she says, "Let me deal with this for you." And she sort of flicks at the thing with her fingers, and one of her lightning bolts sort of sparks out at it, and the thing just all the joints holding together these bones just seem to give up straight away, and it just topples to the dirt in the turnip bed. Well done, guys! You have defeated the Guardians of the Scarecrow.
Huzzah!
I think we did pretty well there.
Dust on your shoulder.
Totters around. Is anybody on the verge of dying? Is anyone in really bad shape?
How's Irina?
She says, I'm all right. I will be fine. And Esmeralda, as you're all sort of gathering together, she says, these creatures like vampires, we will recover over time.
They will recover?
No, we will recover. Many of us have been harmed.
Yes, but I can actually put forth some healing right now. If you look at these fans of mine, they're not just for wielding a blade. They can be turned to other purposes.
They do more than massaging and wielding blades.
They do all sorts of wonderful, I can probe at tense muscles.
Really good pantomime?
Yeah, all sorts. So is anyone wounded? Is anybody needing a little come up?
I'm a little sickly.
Yeah, okay, massage?
Yes.
All right.
Deep tissue, please.
Is anybody actually looking like they're bloodied and?
No, Esmeralda's fine. Irina's, she's exhausted, but she's tough. She'll be.
I will expend all my healing on myself then. This is last going once, going twice. All right, fair enough. All right. 23 points.
Massage yourself?
I lay on hands on myself.
Okay.
I turn my.
Oh my god!
This is just really getting weird.
Turn my back. Come on. I say, wouldn't look. It's a little awkward if everyone watches.
We had the
Why is
cod
he using
piece,
the oil?
and now
I don't know.
the hands on himself.
All right, so I heal myself back up to full. When I turn back around, it's like a complete makeover. I'm back to pristine. Teeth are back.
My
Lips
mother
are
taught me
unshredded.
healing myself once, and I couldn't leave the house for a week.
Yeah, you should consider following Desna. She's a lot more tolerant.
Huh.
That's one of the main ways we recruit young men. I clap John on the shoulder. I am not joking. Now, that item that got this all started, Kellic, what is it you have there?
It's Kellen.
We just met. We've only known each other for weeks.
So, Callan, this thing. I assume it's either been in your hand the whole time, or
on his head.
You sort of stored it away in a pocket, so you have a better look at it. So it's made of some kind of metal, platinum, I think, and it has a large crystal in its center. The whole thing is shaped like a sun. This is an amulet of some kind. So it's an amulet in the shape of a sun. That's where all the spikes were, with the rays of sunlight coming from it, with a large crystal, red crystal in the center of it.
Is it magic? Can anyone tell? Anybody here?
Now, can't we spend a short rest studying it?
That's exactly what you would have to do.
Okay. Should we do it here in the turnip patch or head out first?
I say we forage the garden for edibles.
Okay. I mean, there are plenty of edibles.
Edibles? All right.
Jean's taking care of the roast carrot.
Cat?
Carrot.
Oh, I was like, Sean, that's despicable.
I don't eat cat.
And I guess before we...
Like possum, yes, but cat, no.
Should we search the bodies of these undead thingies?
Why?
These dead undead thingies.
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
Go ahead.
Their weapons have properties.
Kellen, do you want to take an investigation check?
Sure.
Okay. So, as I said earlier, just the idea that you got when you had a look at them, these creatures, these wights, were dressed in armor that had the symbols of the Morning Lord, embossed into it, but over the whatever length of time that they've been buried beneath this garden, that's been tainted,
millennia.
Yeah, been tainted and corrupted by possibly just the substances in the soil, possibly by more. So there's nothing here that you would say would be in particularly usable condition for yourselves. Nothing that you'd get excited about.
They've been undone.
Well, I'm glad I rolled a 20 for that.
Wow.
So what if we left the garden? We've just traveled a short distance. I cast one of my small palaces, and we had a repast.
Stay in Irina and Esmeralda's room. Like we all hang out.
Do you feel comfortable here? Do you like this place?
Because the abbot is
real super weird. Yeah, he's got bad vibes. I say we go.
I still feel conflicted. I still feel like we should go in there and fight him.
I don't think.
I know we won't. But the righteous Desnian in me, it's in there somewhere. It's not happy with what's going on in that sacred cathedral space.
If you want to fight him, I want to have all of my spells back.
Yes. Yeah.
Fair. I'm just saying, should we hut it here, or palace it here, or palace it in the woods?
Let's palace in the woods.
That's what I think too.
So,
all right.
So it is getting darker because this is the same day that you arrived.
It's a long day.
Yeah. So when you say in the woods, at the moment you're up the sort of, remember it's sort of very cold up here, sort of pine. Yeah. So you've climbed up from Kresik. You could, there really aren't woods up here. To get into any woodland, you'd have to head back down into Kresik, which is kind of like a walled, foresty village type thing.
Can we get there in time for nightfall?
Yeah, it certainly could. Because it's just trip back down. I know the idea is, but it is a populated area though. So are you going to be putting?
Well, no one can get into the palace, right?
That's correct.
It's hermetically sealed. We could plop it down anywhere and be completely secure. In fact, we could even do it here in the turnip patch and just rest.
I've been saying that all along. We could do it here, right in the turnip patch.
Okay, what are we doing, guys?
We're doing it here in
the turnip patch, apparently.
No,
this is unraveling early.
Did we see in town in Rezek a good spot for the tiny palace?
Was there really explore at all? You kind of made
but it was just wooden huts and stuff. So
it was just it was a walled forest basically, and it was just all these just basic,
let's get away from this cathedral, this place.
Are we giving up on the abbey, or do we just want to maybe move halfway to Kresik and do the tiny hut or
palace?
So you've got basically out of the abbey doors, you've got this switch road down the cliff face. So your options are in the abbey grounds, on the path up to on the cliff face, or in Kresik. Or you could go further than that. You could get down to Kresik and you could leave.
I like how discussing the accommodations is what takes as long as...
Yes, we need to get this absolutely right.
Yes, we should make sure that we spend 15 minutes on this.
Let's do
Where are the best restaurants?
Let's do a mind map.
Okay, all right.
Okay, let's... No, how about I pointed at Kellen's son. I think we've got the artifact. I pointed at Irina. We've got the Irina, and we have an Esmeralda. That was like a bonus. So we could just leave. We could just go. There's nothing really holding us back to Rezek anymore, is there? Other than a heretical bishop who is probably... Here? Do we really want to fight him without all the others?
You've changed songs mid-tune, sir. This is you started this. We had to go face him, and now you're like, no, let's just go. And I'm with you, but you have changed melodies.
Well, listen, you were talking about needing. You were talking about, do you want to fight Strahd? Why? What else do you have to do before you want to fight Strahd?
Are there 3 other prophecies?
Yeah, collect other items.
And maybe 3 more levels.
Guys, I think that was a hint from the DM that we're good to go.
No. What
Let's do it.
I'm genuinely just asking you to think, because I think you're wrong with
Benedict. That was like a voice from the heavens being like,
I think so.
So check your prophecies again.
We clearly had no trouble with these little minions. We're ready for Strahd.
Not without some more hit points.
And we have the Sword of Sunlight.
Yeah.
And we met the Guardian.
We've done maybe 2 or 3 of the prophecies.
So we've got the Dark Lord. The enemy lurks in the depths of darkness in the place he must return. And
we do not have knowledge of the ancient. We do not have knowledge of the ancient.
Yeah.
All right. We're just going to put this to a vote. I vote we go back to town and have a good night's sleep, and maybe we'll make some friends at the pub.
Here.
Rezek has a pub?
Which we just delivered all that wine.
Yes. They have to drink it somewhere. Where they drink the wine is the pub.
In their locked-up bedrooms weeping.
I said that's kind of pub.
Okay, we should open a pub if that's the case. Business opportunity.
Had that in high school.
So where are we going? Let's go.
Rezek. We're charging down full speed to Rezek.
Down to Krezek, yeah.
Krezek. Right. So we head down the switch road, guys. By the time you get to the bottom, night has set. You can see dim torches, lining the walls of the village that are protecting it from the outside world. As you come down, there is shallow forest here. I mean,
sounds wonderful.
It's not densely populated, as it were. There's quite a space between the buildings in here. So you could, if you wanted to,
check the Yelp reviews.
Get off the path and pop your hut here, or you could head back. For example, where Dimitri the burgomaster lives. You could.
Yeah, he's a little bit down.
He is a bummer. He's like, people have died.
We've got this victorious, thrill going. If we go hang out with him, it's just going to all just sluice away.
Yes, it's true.
A lot more.
So, are we going?
Is there a pub? There's no pub.
You're certainly not aware of any pub. Dimitri was putting the wine into his own cellars.
He's the pub.
He needs it the most.
Bernard points at the sparse forest, and I say, Jean, I invite you to pop a hut.
I thought you would never ask. All right. So I'm going to cast my tiny palace upon yon strand. Here we go! Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.